They're saying these things about Russia, about why this war started. A gentleman named John Mearsheimer, a very prominent professor at the University of Chicago, an expert on international relations, been on the Lex Friedman podcast, huge podcast. And I think one of the things he talked about there a little bit was Ukraine. He has a very different point of view. And although, just to be clear, I'm certainly not a Russian apologist, Mark, and I don't think you are either, or a Russian sympathizer. And I recognize that one country invaded another. Russia invaded Ukraine. They, in essence, started this war, and they are ultimately responsible for what's developed since. But there were, at the very least, you'd have to say there were warning signals that this was going to happen, that we were going down this road. And at worst, I think you would say that U.S. foreign policy under a number of different presidents, and I can go all the way back to George Bush Jr. back in 2000, took actions or put forth U.S. foreign policies that almost created the situation where this happened, or could I say where this had to happen, or they may have, maybe a better way to describe it, Mark, is they may have forced Russia's hand by some of the foreign policy things. And it's interesting, as we go through it and as we talk about it today, one thing that struck my mind about it is some of the people that have been involved in politics for the longest seem to grasp and hold on to almost the Cold War mentality or the Cold War threat. And hey, I remember when I worked at DEA, whenever you wanted, the thing that you're working on to be the big thing, or if there's a big threat out there, you want to be working on that big threat. Why? Because you get the resources if you're working on that big threat.